What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here, coming at you with another episode on our Page for Master Series, where we look back at the decks of the past and the present, and highlight some of the more top decks of the time. So, another thing I forgot to mention about Season 3 is that we started actually two tournaments in Gathering. Another fellow named Tiny Tim123, if you might have known him from Popper and whatnot, he wanted to start a tournament series too. So we had double the tournaments, double double the fun there, and eventually the Storm deck was pretty good. You know, like I said, Ironblood, when Ironblood played, he won, or or mostly like kind of, came in second or whatever. He was doing really well. But the response to that, I think, was this deck, was mono red. And like I said in the past seasons, mono red is always a thing. But the thing about this particular list that really caught everyone's attention was just the way how fast it was like things like Ash Zealot were really good, and Shrine of Burning Rage was one of the biggest iconic cards in this matchup because it just beat up all the control decks when you just left it unchecked, and it was a very efficient and crazy deck. And this guy, Math Guy 3145, won so many turns with it. He was probably one of the better mono red players, and it just got wildly popular with the Gathering crowd because everyone for the Gathering people, they just kind of like latch onto the best deck, and eventually when this deck emerged, it became pretty much the deck to play, and you had to prepare against it. So, and Math Guy won many tournaments. He even won like the season grand finale tournament over Storm. So I mean, that just goes to show you how like dominant the deck was. So just going through the mana base really quick. Key 2 encampments, just extra creatures and a bunch of mountains. Creature lands and lands. Mountains. Many mountains. Stormcroak Double and Rakdos Cackler were the one drops of choice. 2 Burst Lightnings was really weird. It was really weird. No one really liked Burst Lightning a lot because people preferred more of the 2-drop spells, I guess. I guess 3 was a magic number to kill things like Nighthawks, Vampire Nighthawks, things like that. Kindles kind of just got better as they go along. I think they were just lacking the other two, so this kind of had like a little late game presence. I believe him was still legal, so even if you started one Kindle, the next one would just get a lot better. Stormblood, another premier 2-drop along with Ash Zealot. Ash Zealot was very annoying, but probably not as annoying as Shrine of Burning Rage. Like I said, for the control decks, it was really hard to beat. You had to have like certain bounce spells, and I think a problem of why this deck got so good is that people were adapting less. I think people just weren't trying to adapt. They were just trying to dodge it and just kind of do their own thing. But you really couldn't do that with this deck because the deck pretty much had every angle covered. You had to be ready for it, and people just weren't as ready. Chandra Phoenix as well, another recursive threat. But really, I mean, like, if you dealt with the creatures, you had to deal with the artifacts, and you had to deal with the spells, so people were just like, we're not like good enough at like fighting this deck, I think sometimes, and that's what kind of happened for most of the format. People just kind of like succumb to it. We actually got like really low numbers because of red deck, but you need to like adapt, and that's the thing about this format. And I think like someone that did adapt a lot was Math Guy, because eventually he had to build his decks for the mirror. So, and you can see that here with like Volshock Refugee and Dragon's Claws, even like Vishu and Heretic. You just kill other shrines or you kill other Dragon's Claws. It's like a sick card in the mirror. Spell Shock was like I said in the Ironblood episode, that's a natural predator of that storm. This card was so annoying to play against. It was crazy. And then Punishing Fires for like kind of like the decks that kind of started gaining life. One of the foils to this deck was it was a green-white deck with a bunch of like just like big idiots and like locks on hierarchs, and tried to gain a bunch of life in this way. So Punching Fire was kind of a way to kind of like get a recursive burn spell going. But yeah, this deck basically dominated a greater part of the season, and people just weren't ready for it. I don't know. It was really weird. It was a really weird time in the format because Penny Dreadful is known as a quote unquote brewer's paradise. And when your brew just gets destroyed by these little red guys and really efficient burn spells, you get really disheartened by it. because people just kind of want to have fun and do their own like cast their large spells, whatnot, or what have you. Cast their like 5 mana combo card combos, whatever. And Monterey just shut that down. It was just like, no, no, sir, you're not gonna do that here. I have a Rakdos Cackler, so and it was weird. It was a weird time, and because of that, Shrine was a subject to the very first buyout. Uh, the first time someone tried to price manipulate the format in the end of the season, where people were reported of buying several many copies. I think like someone had 70. Another like people had an organized front to stop this one card, and it worked, and it was crazy. That's how like crazy the deck was, and that's how good the deck was. So Mac guy, you deserve big props because you need a lot of people hate Shrine of Burning Rage. So that's gonna do it for this episode. In the next episode, we're gonna dive right into season 4 and the aftermath of our buyout. What would come out on top? Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.